Hey guys, I'm here to talk to you about first aids and what you should kind of have in a basic first aid kit today. I am a paramedic up in the Midlands of South Carolina. Been one for about 2 years now. Been in and out of the field for about 5 since I was 18. I've been using a first aid kit since I was a kid, when I was going camping or hiking, or just had one in my car when we were going on long family road trips. It's always smart to have one, and today I'm going to try and explain and help you guys figure out what you need in a basic everyday first aid kit. I have mine right here. Mine is a little bit more advanced because I am able to do a couple more things with my education. However, I have the same thing everyone should have in a basic first aid kit. Every first aid kit is going to be a little different. Don't be scared to look and see which one you like, or make one yourself. You can buy a lot of the supplies just here and there, and then kind of make your own if you have a specific bag you want to use and whatnot. The big thing with first aid kits as well is you want to make sure you know where everything is. In an ambulance, that's how we do it. We do a checkoff every day to make sure everything is in the right place, so when it comes time to use it, we don't have to think, we can just know, and we can grab and use. That's how a first aid kit should be treated. So if something were to happen to where you were to need it, other than just a small cut and you need a band-aid, you know exactly where to reach, so when that adrenaline is running, you can stay calm and you can help the person, okay? So my first aid kit in the center pouch right here is full of a bunch of stuff. Again, I keep it organized. I do inventory on it about once every 6 months just to make sure I don't have something missing or something's expired, because things do expire, even little things like gauze. They can expire. It's not that big of a deal, but you want to make sure everything is good to go. Speaking of gauze, that's one of the first things I have in my first aid kit. I keep all my stuff in, I try and keep all my stuff in a Ziploc bag, so if it does get wet, things don't get ruined. In here I have just a couple pieces of gauze, and I call it cling. It also is roller gauze, is what you might find it in the store. These are good for if you're out hiking and you get a pretty big scratch on like your arm or something, you don't have a band-aid that exactly fits it, you can put that piece of gauze on there and then wrap it up with the cling. It stays protected. It can start its healing process, and then when you get out of the woods or where you were, you can go see a doctor or go to the emergency room if you need to and get it looked at and make sure it's still clean. You don't want you to get wounds infected. The second thing I have is I have tape. If that gauze or cling is not wanting to stay where it wants to, you can use a little bit of tape and it can help secure that, keep it down again, so you can get to where you need to go to a higher level of care. I have, and this is from when I was a camper at Luther Ridge, I found these and I love them. They're the bee sting kits. You basically, if you get stung by a bee and you're not allergic to it, you can, your skin gets irritated, it's itchy, it hurts. These are little packets. You kind of just crack them open and you can rub it on it, and it's got a cooling sensation. Very nice to have. Again, don't need these, but they are a good thing to keep in a first aid kit. These are liquid skin. These are good for those pesky cuts on your hands that really the gauze won't help. You can't fit a band-aid on it because it's right on your knuckles or it's in between your fingers. Again, you can put just a little bit of this on, and it kind of helps glue that skin back together so that you can keep doing what you're doing. Again, this is something I don't necessarily recommend you need in every first aid kit. Something I keep in it because I have had those cuts before and I know how to use it. With all of these things, you want to make sure if you buy something or you get something, you want to make sure you understand how to use it properly, especially with some of the things I'm going to show you that I use that you probably shouldn't have in your first aid kit. Another thing I recommend every first aid having is Coban. It's a very stretchy, adhesive, self-adhesing fabric. It helps with securing ankles. If you were to roll your ankle, you can roll it or wrap it around and it's tight, but it is not tape, so it doesn't rip out hair, and it's just a little bit more comfortable. It's easy to cut off. With the cling, I like to also have an ace bandage. I have 3 of them in mine, different sizes. different secures. This one uses the metal clamps. I have some that are Velcro. I know how to use them both. A lot of times people find the Velcro ones are easier, but Ace bandages, you don't have to get the name brand. Any Ace bandage will work. Bigger roll of cling. See, size different just in case I need to get to a bigger area or I have a larger area I need to wrap. The cling comes in handy as well when I use my Sam Splint. Sam Splints are fantastic. This is an off-brand one too, but the big one is called Sam Splints. They are a soft piece of material with a thin metal in between the foam. Inside that foam, you can bend that metal and it can sit on your hand, on your arm. Say you were to injure your arm, you suspect a break when you're out in the woods and you need to get to the hospital, but it hurts to move. You can secure this, it unrolls, and you can form it to your arm and then use your cling to wrap it around your arm. And then it's secure, it's a little more comfortable, it's safer, and then you can get to that emergency room or doctor's office to where you can get your aid and they can properly set and fix your arm. I also keep a bag of, it's just alcohol wipes and some wet wipes. So if you are out and you have like just a small scratch from a twig or something, you can just wipe it and clean that area of your skin, and then you're good to go. Put a Band-Aid on it. You don't have to worry about it getting infected or anything like that. Always very good to have. Then I have a small little bag full of Tylenol, Advil. It's got some Pepto-Bismol in it. Just simple over-the-counter medication. Say you're dehydrated, have a headache, you can take your Advil and you can feel a little bit better. Or your Tylenol, your arm's hurting or your legs are sore from you've been hiking for a while. Very good to have. Pepto-Bismol, always good to have a little bit on just in case you have an upset stomach. This is very important. These are the things that I check the dates on to make sure if they are not expired. Medication is important. It does not work if it's expired, so make sure if you have things like this, make sure it is in date. I also keep big Band-Aids, fun colors, of course. These are good for knees, elbows. They have a big pad where they can absorb, and then they have also a good amount of adhesive so they'll stick to your skin really well. You can find them on Amazon. They're very cheap and they come in a very big box. That's my favorite. I also have some sunscreen, little things of sunscreen just in case you forget your sunscreen or it's one of those days where it's supposed to be cloudy. It turns out the sun's out. Don't want to get burned because burns are never a fun time. Sunscreen, always good to have. I also have some safety blankets. Again, this is a me thing. Not everyone has these in there. I have 3 of them in mine. And that's just in case you need one. When in doubt, better have it. They're good. They fold up very small. And I have, like I said, 3, so I can do a couple different things with them. I also have some smaller finger splints in case you were to jam your finger. They just go right in here. You can cut them and just tape, and then your finger is secured. Very, very nice to have. Also this is still just in my center pouch. I have more. I have some lip balm, some hydrocortisone cream, and my creams stay together just in case I need one. I can have all of them. They're very good, very helpful. Up here in this top part of my pouch, it's very easy to access. It's a flip lid, it's right there. There's a small zipper. I keep Neosporin and a bunch of Band-Aids. They're just all in there. Very nice, and it's just quick and easy. If I have a small cut or something, bam, fix that problem. Also, I have in here is some more medication. These are ones I don't use as often. So they don't get used, so I keep them in a different pouch. Still quick to access, but not necessary. I have a triangle bandage. They're good for if you hurt your shoulder. You can put them in a sling. Very nice to have. And then the big thing I have in this outside pocket is my gloves. As a medical professional, I'm used to having to put gloves on to just do any kind of patient care. But in the real world, you don't want someone else's blood on you. You don't want someone else's vomit on you. It's not fun. Gloves are very good to have. again, I put mine in a small Ziploc bag. Each bag has 2 sets of gloves in it so that I can just quickly grab one little bag, and then I have a box of gloves I bought at Walgreens that I resupply once I'm done with that. I also keep a notebook that is waterproof paper and a pencil. I can keep track of things I used, and if I do something with someone else I'm with or do something on myself, I can write it down so I have times, what I did. It just helps if I do go to a hospital later on, if the injury is bad enough, I can say, hey, this is what I did, this is how it helped. It's, again, that's a medical professional side of it. Some people don't necessarily do that. Down here in the bottom of my pouch, I have more ACE bandages and triangle bandages. Again, it's kind of just extra storage just in case one breaks or I use one, I can reload it into the main part of my pouch. And then there's one last zipper I'm going to go through. It's this top one. It's got a bunch of my advanced provider stuff in there. So I have, very important, a CPR shield just in case you have someone who were to stop breathing, doesn't have a pulse. You want to have these, especially with COVID. They are actually teaching more hands-only CPR. It works, but if you are skilled and CPR certified, you know how to use it. These are great. They go over the mouth, and then you don't have to have your mouth on someone else's mouth while you're doing CPR. A couple other things I have in here are some burn dressings. Those are very nice to have because, like I said earlier, burns are never fun, but you can treat them. And all of my burn things stay in one bag. It's got small little burn cream pouches, and then I have for bigger burns that hopefully you never have to see. And when you're out using a first aid kit, in the back, they kind of just lay over the skin. It helps, it's got a cooling sensation to it, helps that burn victim feel a little bit better. The main thing you want in a first aid kit, for a basic first aid kit that you can take with you on your car trips and everything like that, hiking, small hiking adventures or big ones, are these things. I'm going to show you again. You want ACE bandage, very good. Just a small little thing, alcohol wipes, wet wipes, whatever you have, they work as long as they can just quickly disinfect the skin and you're good to go. You want bandages. You want a couple things of roller gauze, a couple things of big 4x4 gauzes. They make them bigger and smaller. I prefer the 4x4s. You want some Coban, different sizes if you want, same one size if you want. Roll of tape, a triangle bandage. You want your lip balms and your sunscreens. You want all those. You're gonna definitely want just a small little bit of Tylenol, Advil, whatever your preference is. You don't have to keep the Pepto-Bismol, I always do. And then just other quick medications, like I have some Bare aspirin in here. I have a little bit more Advil. Again, I can just take it out of here and put it in my main one. And Band-Aids, you want Band-Aids. Everyone always has small cuts and scrapes when you're out hiking and adventuring. And then, like I said, I keep a lot of Band-Aids in all different sizes. These are the ones in my top pouch. They have finger Band-Aids. You have your normal traditional wide Band-Aids. You don't have to use Band-Aids. I use Cure-Aid. I like them a little bit better. We also have the knuckle Band-Aids. Very good, very helpful. And remember, put it away the same way you got it out so you know where it is. And once you're done with using your first aid kit, try and restock it as quickly as possible because you don't want to have it use something and then need it again and not have it. And as always, make sure you're using the equipment you use properly and appropriately. There are YouTube videos and resources to really show you how to properly use all of these things I went over today, in different ways you can use them. And if push comes to shove and you don't think you can handle it with your first aid kit, don't hesitate, call 911 or seek medical attention at a higher level of care, such as your regular doctor, urgent care, or an emergency room. Thanks guys, I hope you enjoyed this and I hope this is very helpful.